In this little gadget that you all have in your pocket, we now have more capacity than the entire Houston Control Center had in 1969 when they were shooting off a rocket to the moon. And there were people in that room that looked at me, and I could clearly see, you have never heard of YouTube. You don't know what it is. They're so disconnected from the real world of where these youngsters are that they have no idea to come up with a good message. My name is Bart Knols, and I've been intrigued by science ever since I was this big. So I'm not the right person to talk here because I've already made my choice very early on. But I craved science, and I really thought that there was no alternative for me than to get into science and just become a biologist. And that's exactly what I became. I saw the sad things about famine and the unequitable distribution of wealth on the planet. And of course I saw disease. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that actually motivated me at the age of 19 to move to Africa and spend my entire career on solving diseases, finding solutions to the diseases that affect the poor people on the planet. And that wasn't all. There was another very strong motivator, a motivator that we look for in young people, and that motivator was anger. I was angry. I was angry at the way wealth was distributed. I was angry at the way that 80% of the drugs that are made and that we can buy in a pharmacy are made for diseases that only affect 20% of the global population, and not these poor people. I was angry at that. Where they grew up, the baby boomers, where they grew up with radio and television, Dutch youngsters now spend 18% of their time on the internet, making this medium far more popular than television. So they get their information through the web, not through television. And the consequence of this is that youngsters do not receive their norms and values vertically, i.e. from parents or representatives from their parents' generation, but they receive it from the horizontal level. In other words, they're seeking role models in their own generation. Role models in their own generation are becoming more important than those from the previous generation. Now, when I was working at Wageningen University in the Netherlands, I got called into a meeting one day which had to do about the same thing. We had the plant sciences study, and traditionally Wageningen University is a green university, an agricultural university. And in 2008, 19 students enrolled in the plant sciences study for a green university. And they were ashamed. Only 19 youngsters. Mind you, they were up from 4 in 2005. Only 4 students in the entire Netherlands signed up for the plant sciences study in 2005. And I was called in to talk to them and say, what can we do about this? So I started talking about YouTube, and I started talking about, using social media and this and that and that. And there were people in that room that looked at me, and I could clearly see, you have never heard of YouTube. You don't know what it is. They're so disconnected from the real world of where these youngsters are that they have no idea to come up with a good message. Traditionally, in Wageningen, what was done is they have open days. Open days where youngsters can come and they can talk to professors and students and so on and attract them. And then I visited one of these. I saw a big, nice poster hanging there, and it was this poster. This is loneliness. This guy is from dawn till dusk, on his tractor, working alone in the field. That's boring. I don't want to do that. The next one that says, look at this diesel thing, this big diesel tractor coughing out all the CO2, pollution. The third one would say, this is mass production of food, bioindustry, fertilizers, insecticides. They cough out all these things. And surprise, surprise, you don't come up with a message that intrigues them to sign up for your study. The wrong message went out. So we sat down and we said, what can we do about this? Let's think about something else. And we designed a campaign much more aligned with their current values and came up with a picture like this. They like that. These are students high up in the canopies in the Amazonian rainforest looking for bromeliad plants from which they try and isolate active principles to cure diseases like tuberculosis, HIV, malaria, whatever you can think of. That appeals to them because this is sport again. This is teamwork. This is nature. That's the sort of messages that they really like to see.